Oh! Taylor Swift has become the ultimate man hopper, plus size dating tips, and your live love advice today on Game Over.
Welcome back to Game Over. Producer Fiona's going through it today, right?
Fionna.
Welcome back to Game Over. My name's Charles J. Orlando.
I'm Lisa Stedman.
And, you know, this is the show that tells you straight, if you're a guy and you're really in love with a girl and all your friends are telling you that you're pussy whipped, we'll be the ones to tell you that there's nothing better to be whipped with.
Wow, that's a little hot in here all of a sudden.
Street Smart Love Advice coming to you every day, Monday through Friday.
Yep.
2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. London, 9 a.m. Sydney, live. And if you're watching us on demand, catch one of our live shows.
Yes, so, and that's the other thing is you can catch all of our shows on demand on thegameovershow.com. So check us out. There's tons of content there. We can't wait to hear which shows are your favorites and what you want to hear more of.
But see, but you have something really cool to talk about right now. It's actually not cool. It's what's hot. What is hot? You had this. What do we got?
I'm hot all of a sudden. So yes, so let's talk about what's hot. So I typically do not applaud celebrities who bed hop and man hop. I'm like Kim Kardashian, you know who you are. I typically say game over to that.
Start me on Kim.
Game over to that. However, I have somebody who has reinvented herself from a breakup queen to the queen of dating and man hopping like a bachelorette, and that is Miss Taylor Swift.
Now, are you saying she's doing that with self-esteem, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, in my estimation, don't know you personally, Taylor, but you know, it used to be like, oh, I'm getting broken up with, I'm getting dumped, I need to write songs, and I actually salute that and applaud that, because when you're dating douches like John Mayer, write about that shit.
Ugh.
But now you've mastered the art of dating more appropriately aged men. Kennedy, you dated
Right.
a Kennedy, and now you're dating one of those One Direction cuties.
Now, was she really dating a Kennedy, or was she kind of interviewing a Kennedy?
Ooh, well, we would have to interview her about that. Taylor, if you want to come on Game Over TV, give us a call, give us a holler. Our people will talk to your people. But what I like that I'm seeing is that she's dating and she's not instantly in a relationship with them. She's dating, and sometimes she's dating the families.
Right.
She did date the Kennedy family. That's okay. Who wouldn't want to date them? I mean, hello.
Well, and that's unfortunately rare in today's society, right? Where you have people who have to be in a relationship or they don't have to be in a relationship. Like, she's just out there and dating and spending time with people, you know?
She's getting to know. She's exploring her options, which is what I like.
Right.
So it's not I'm a monogamy junkie, like I'm going to be in this relationship, then this relationship. This feels like she's mastered the art of dating. And, you know, Game Over is all about learning the difference between Game Over and Game On strategies. And what I also like, Taylor, is that you're choosing more appropriate candidates. Cuties who also have a life and a job of their own and who are more age appropriate. Like, of course John Mayer's going to play you. He plays everybody, but you, the little young cutie, of course. Boo. Game Over to John Mayer. Never date him, ladies.
Well, and she seems, the perception at least, is that she's doing it with a lot of self-esteem, where a lot of people, men and women both, don't do that, right? Where maybe you're sleeping with everybody, maybe you're not, like, but you're spending time and you're doing what you want to do, but you're not instantly getting attached overnight and staying there. So
right, so she's keeping her own identity. So back to Miss Kim Kardashian, it always seems when she's in a relationship that she instantly morphs into who that guy is. Now she's all like Kanye'd out, and I say game over to that.
Blah, we can do that on another one.
I know, but speaking of what's hot, I think it's time for He Said, She Said.
So do I.
Okay, so welcome back. We are talking about about dating tips for plus size ladies today. Yay. And I want to go on record as saying that the average woman in America is a size 14.
Now, would you consider that a plus size woman?
Well, according to society, they consider that the beginning of plus size.
At 14.
At 14.
Okay.
What I appreciate is it used to be, I'm a size 14 right now, and it used to be if you were a size 14 or above, the only place you could shop is Lane Bryant, and frankly, their clothes are fugly. But now...
Sorry, Lane Bryant, you're never going to become a sponsor of Game Over.
Just better quality clothes, come on! Bigger clothes don't have to look so fugly, Jesus. But so now regular stores carry up to size 16s, but typically, yes, the conception, the idea is, or the definition of plus size is starting at a size 14.
Okay. Well, which kind of makes sense based on, well, let me rephrase. So do you consider the obesity rate in the U.S. playing a part into this?
No, because I don't think plus size has anything to do with obesity.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're separating bigger girls from people who are obese.
Yes. So plus size is size 14 and up. I think there's actually two categories here. And what I like about today's topic is we're going to kind of serve both audiences. So if you're plus size, but you are not in a category of obese, we're going to talk about that. I also want to say if you are in whatever definition of obese is for you, and that's typically very large, right? That's typically something that might be on borderline what doctors say is unhealthy.
Right.
There are actual websites geared towards you finding love. I found a ton of them online last night. So you are called BBW, Big and Beautiful Woman.
Right.
And if you are looking for love and you are in, like, let's say a size 20, 22, 24 and up, there are sites geared towards you. And I love this because it means you are no longer on the WEIGHT list for love.
Well, and I think that's really important, right? So there's a lot of women out there who are like, no, I'll look for a relationship once and then when I've lost 35 pounds, when I've got my clothes at a decent size, whatever. There are plenty of men out there that don't see this as an issue the way you do, right? They don't even, I mean, we were talking pre-show. Yeah. They don't have to look past your weight. They actually see it. Yes. They see it as a part of who you are. So it's not the issue that you see. It's a whatever, because it's just a part of you. Like you get a woman who has had a couple of children, and all of a sudden her flaws include things like stretch marks and.
Well, you don't have to have kids to have stretch marks, though.
Well, that's true. Yeah, Cat Williams said it, right? Stretch marks come from you were big and got small, or you were small and got big. So.
Ladies, all of us have stretch marks, unless you're like 22 and like have never changed your size ever. Which, please, if you're a woman, you've changed your size. Well, I want to hear from the man's perspective on this because, from my perspective, I'm a big believer in not apologizing for the size of your thighs and really just going out there and being your best self. And I've got tips for that, but I would love to hear from you first on a man's perspective on plus size women. Well,
I think it's really about the person themselves, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can watch an old episode of Oprah, mm-hmm. and she's the first person to say, embrace your size 10, embrace your size 12. Well, she's saying that because she's a size 16, right? And she has a personal dresser, and she has a makeup consultant, and like she'll look fabulous no matter what. Okay.
Right.
So, but for the normal everyday woman, what does it mean? It means just to be yourself. Okay. If you wait for tomorrow is just code for never.
Right, but from a guy's perspective, is weight a deal breaker?
No, I don't think it's a deal breaker. Okay. I think for some men, it is a deal breaker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the photo that we put up with this show today talked about how guys with beer bellies always are chasing after the Victoria's Secret model, and they have that hypocrisy.
Game over.
Right. Well, and there's nothing wrong with that, provided that the woman is cool with the guy and she wants to have a little Buddha. And the guy's cool with the woman who's a size 2, a size 3, and that's fine too. But from a guy's perspective, so my wife has been every size under the sun.
Because she's a woman.
Because she's a woman, right?
Hello.
When we met, she was a size 6. Okay.
Okay.
And then 2 kids later, and postpartum and baby stuff and all of that, she ended up like a 14, 16. Mm-hmm. And now she's settled back in at someplace around a 4, 6. But through that yo-yo, I mean, I adjusted, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. So is it bad? No. It's the same woman.
How was your sex life different at different sizes? I gotta ask.
It took me a while to get used to it, right?
Okay.
Like
to get used to what?
Her getting smaller.
See, this is what I wanted you to say, because ladies, we think that they want like the skin and bones in the bedroom, but you actually said to me one time off the air that like there's some throwdown when a girl's a little thicker, and I like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, a woman's supposed to, in my opinion, a woman should be built like a woman. And you can be built like a woman at a size 2.
Okay, I say game over to the boy bodies with boobs. Ladies, how do you do that? Is it fake? How do you get the boy body like no hips and then tits? Well, every actress in Hollywood has it. Game over, ladies.
Well, totally, and most of the time, I haven't seen like boobs without a slope that just sit there like, you know, like Nazis, and when they turn their head, like everything stays right here, right? And nipples don't belong under your chin, right? So just work that shit out.
Work that shit out.
Bolt-ons just don't cut it, right?
There's fur flying around the studio because this is a hot topic today. Yes, I totally agree with that. So can I talk about some of the tips and tactics for plus size ladies to learn to love themselves?
And that's really the first step, right? Like embrace who you are.
Well, embrace who you are. Now you mentioned earlier Oprah, she has a stylist, she has a hairstylist, all this stuff. I'm a big believer for any woman at any size, own your shape.
Right.
Don't apologize for the size because you can go up, you can go down. I've been the whole spectrum, 2, 14, 16, 18, like all of it. And the key that I've learned is to stop apologizing for the size and celebrate the shape. So if you got a fabulous booty, rock that fabulous booty. You got an itty bitty waist, rock that itty bitty waist. If you've got like great boobs, rock those boobs. Like do whatever, dress however to celebrate the shape. Don't be hiding in your clothes. Because what man is going to be able to celebrate you when you are not celebrating yourself?
No doubt. Well, and let's do it appropriately, right? Because there's plenty of bigger girls that aren't going to work out. They aren't going to look right and be able to really rock, to use your term, a mini skirt. Right?
No, so game over on the mini skirts.
Well, right. I mean, you know, it's got to be appropriate to your body style.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying. By celebrating the shape, I'm not saying be ridiculous with the size. Like, if you can't rock a mini skirt, don't go there.
Right. If you're not a size 2, don't dress like a size 2. Dress like you.
Yes, dress appropriately. But I think, again, ladies, stop hiding in your clothes. Celebrate the shape. The size is just adjustable. The shape will just expand and contract. So if you need help, get a stylist. And it doesn't have to break the bank. Go online and watch old episodes of What Not to Wear.
Right.
Go on YouTube. There are plenty of tips on YouTube for dressing, like style tips. There's also makeup tips. So you don't have to get a stylist to rock your fabulous, but there are great free tips online for you.
And it would be interesting because we broadcast to an international audience.
Yes.
I'm under the impression, and I could be wrong, and this is where I want your feedback, I'm under the impression that this is really a U.S. kind of stigma where you go outside the U.S. and a size 10, 12, it's really kind of embraced in a different way, although fans from Australia have said something different. So please head over to facebook.com/thegameovershow and give us your feedback. Are we right or are we wrong?
Yeah, I'm curious about this because I've traveled a lot and I've talked to women all over the world, and I don't know if I've necessarily talked about the size thing, but there are different cultural issues when dating. Sometimes it's more casual, especially from what I hear in New Zealand and Australia. So another thing I want to talk about is, where did it go? Yes. So a lot of women walk around with the belief that because they're larger, they can't find love.
No, that's totally wrong.
Well, it's totally wrong, but here's the reframe, because I can tell you you're totally wrong and you'll be like, bitch, shut up. So let me do the reframe that will help you. There are women who are older, there are women who are fatter, there are women who are skinnier, there are women with disabilities, there are women who have a whole host of issues and problems that have found love. So if you're walking around going, it's because I'm a size whatever or I weigh this much, that's a misconception. That's a misperception.
Yeah, and it's on your side, by the way, because the rest of the world and the guys who will be interested in you don't see it that way. It's your own shit that you're carrying around. So, you know, I mean...
So it's as much a mind shift as a body shift.
Absolutely. And I think both are necessary, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. And then here's the other tip, and I hear this a lot from women. Well, at this size, any guy who's interested in me is a loser.
Oh, come on. That's
Talk
bullshit.
about self-judgment,
yeah,
right?
Totally.
Yeah.
And you end up putting that out there so it manifests itself.
Yes. Well, if you believe that anyone who's interested in you in general is a loser, that's such a statement of who you think you are.
Right.
So I would really encourage you to work on your own sense of self and making yourself the best person possible. If you want to lose weight, lose weight. But don't wait to find love. Don't wait to fill your closet with clothes you like. Don't wait for anything to say yes to you. That's really what we're saying today.
Say yes to yourself, right? I mean, you're going to be who you are, and the body you have is just a shell, right? No guy's going to right guy is not going to say she's got a great personality. Again, I hit it so, because she's kind of cool, right? The right guy is not going to say that. The right guy's not going to say
and
that.
the right dude wants the full package. So if you are plentiful, they're going to love plentiful.
And
believe me.
And I have yet to see a real abundance of size 2, size 4 women with big boobs that are natural. I mean, in order to have those boobs, you got to have something
fat,
to you,
some
right?
Body fat. Yeah. If boobs are body fat, I hate to break it to you. So rock what you got. I think that's what we're saying. Love yourself, rock what you got. And if you are in that bigger category of 22, 24, 26 or above, please Google BBW, it's Big and Beautiful Women, and there are plenty of online dating sites that are geared directly to you if you feel a stigma or inhibited about being on regular sites or going out and meeting people in person.
And if you're pushing those sizes, please check with your doctor to make sure your heart's good.
Yeah, and just move your body more and you'll be healthy, hopefully. So we have to pay some bills for all these fabulous lights.
Interesante.
Let's talk about our sponsor.
Interesante is like Pinterest, right? But it's built for the Latin community. And I'm active on there. I've been.
Not only are you active, he started Facebooking in Spanish. You are so affected by this Interesante, which tells me it's an awesome, awesome place to be.
And it really is. It's really cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody loves Pinterest. You can share things and create vision boards and all this great stuff, but Interesante is really built for the Latin community. So check that out. Go to interesante.com and you'll see a lot of my content too, and I'm going to drag her on there. I'm telling you right now.
Kicking and screaming. I have in-laws who are Hispanic, Latino, whatever you want to call yourselves today, and hablo un poquito, entiendo mucho.
Definitely.
Anyway, I think this is the time.
Right, at the back end of the show, we always address your questions and answer your live love advice. So let's get to Street Smart Love Advice. If you have a question, head over to facebook.com/thegameovershow, and we'll get your question live. And if we read it on the air, we'll keep you anonymous, and you'll be helping not only yourself, but a lot of other people too.
Yeah, we hear that the advice that we give helps not only the people that it's for, but it's other people too. And if we have answered your live love advice, please email us with an update and let us know how it's going.
But it is Street Smart. You want Dear Abby? Go to Dear Abby.
Yeah.
This one comes in from N.
Hi, N.
Hi, N. And N asks, my fiance broke up with me for various reasons. Because of my family, he says I argue too much, and my heart is broken. He promised he would stay, but now he just wants his jewelry back and his ring. How can I move on? Now, first of all, she's only 19.
Okay,
but she's going through a breakup.
Yeah, those are painful, especially when you're young and you don't have the track record.
Let's talk about the ring for a second. Guys always want to get their ring back when they break off an engagement. What's your opinion?
Can we talk about this? All right, ladies, if you've watched the show, you know that I am an equal opportunist when it comes to money. Do not take what is not yours. If somebody gives you a ring, that's because they wanted to marry you. If the marriage does not go, give the ring back. Here's my only caveat to this, my only exception. If he cheats on your ass, fuck that.
So then you can pawn it, right? So
pawn it. You don't want to keep it, but pawn it.
I would agree, though. I mean, the ring is really, it's a promise of love together, right? So if you're not going to have that, then yeah, the ring should definitely go back, I think.
Yes.
Not that he should be a douche and give it to the next person in line, right? I think that
God forbid,
it's unique,
but those things happen.
But she's really asking about how she can move on. So I don't know how long you were together with him, N, but I'd be coming from a place of, get into, the best advice I give for anybody who goes through a rough breakup is immediately get into another relationship with yourself.
Okay, I was like, where are we going with this? Game over!
No, you definitely have to move on and get into you, and
I like that.
and take a step back, right? There's no reason to jump into something else instantly, and you get into yourself and you don't end up getting into a rebound.
Yes, and there's a couple things here that were a bit red flaggy for me. Because of my family and because I argue too much. Those were some of the reasons he broke up with you. Well, number one, the right guy is going to accept your family, warts and all. Doesn't mean he has to like them or love them.
Warts and
he
all.
will accept them. And then the other thing is, if you argue too much, that sounds like an issue within yourself. Work on that during this downtime between relationships. Don't bring that anger into the next relationship.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You're up.
I'm up. This is from A.
Hi, A.
Hi, A. A. Why did I just repeat what you did? My boyfriend and I have been together for 4 months. Cool. He loves me. Cool. He cares about me a lot. Awesome. But he said he was confused about his future. Wah, wah. It broke my heart to hear him say those words. I was very shocked because our relationship has always been great. Your relationship is 4 months old, so just saying.
It's easy to be always great at 4 months.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
And they're young. He's 23, I'm 21. This is my real love, and I'm completely heartbroken. Okay, A, I totally get being heartbroken. And again, when you're this young, and you're going to hate me for saying this because I'm twice your age, and I'm going to sound like your mother right now. But when you've only had 1 or 2 relationships under your belt, or this is your first serious love, your first serious relationship, you don't have the actual experience of having gotten over it. So it can feel like the end of the world.
Sure.
But what I want, he also says he loves you, he's confused, and he doesn't want to hurt me. I'm wondering what to do. He knows that I think of him in my future. He's not cheating or anything, but he's confused about his future. Well, you can't make a confused man love you. You can't make a confused man change his mind about what's next for him. So that's on him.
See, but I like his approach. I have to say, it may be a game over. I do. Well, he's being straight, right?
Yes.
So he says he's confused
actually,
about.
I'm not sure if he's straight. If he's confused.
Well, if he's saying, well, she says he's confused. Well, she says he's confused.
Okay.
But what he's also saying is that he's concerned about his future. So he's thinking ahead, and he's just being straight. Okay?
If he's thinking about marriage and he's 23, that could be really scary.
I think that's a really responsible decision for anybody under the age of 30, or at any age, actually.
So are you telling A that her prince has just dumped her and she's screwed? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that at least he's being straight up, and he's not entering into a relationship that's not what he really wants to do, and he's not being guilted in. But even more so is that he's taking a look at his future. He's
being
not
mature.
Yeah, he's not necessarily saying she's not in it. What he seems to be doing, based on your email, A, is that he's just contemplating the ifs. And at that age, I think it's really important for a man to contemplate those ifs.
Sure.
Do you want to lock yourself in at your early 20s?
Not that there's anything wrong with
Nothing wrong with that. No.
Yeah.
But he's looking at his work life. He's looking at his personal life. What direction does his life want to go? I think it's responsible. It may not be what she wants to hear.
Right. So here's the real deal. A is he may be doing you a favor. You just can't see it yet.
Or there's no. I mean, it's been 4 months. He's not saying it's over. What he's saying is, let's think about things. That's what I'm reading into this, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If it's real,
it's new. 4 months.
But if it's real, he's definitely going to be there and around. He looks like he's just contemplating.
He's given it some thought. So it's a game on limbo. Sounds like.
Give him some space. Let him see what he thinks about.
And also ask yourself what you want. And if all your answers are is him, pay attention to what else is in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This one is for you.
Well, it was the last thing to A. Yeah. Like, if he isn't like fish or cut bait on the schedule that makes a difference to your feelings, like put that out there too, right? You may not be on the right schedule. This is from Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Which is a woman. We're using initials on the show to maintain anonymity. Anonymity. I just said that in English. My husband is addicted to porn. We get a lot of this. My husband's addicted to porn.
It's one of our most common topics.
I hate it, and he knows it. We have sex frequently, but no matter what, he always has to masturbate to porn. I'm hurt. What do you think? So,
dude, take it away.
All guys work it out, right?
It is confusing. I gotta admit, I'm confused about porn too.
So I think part of it is that porn is so available today.
Seriously,
and available. It never was before.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a $1.9 billion industry. I think it's more than that actually. It's like I'll get the exact stats. We'll put it on the pulse.
Yeah.
But because of its availability, and I don't know how old he is, but if a man's testosterone is running wild, like he's going to need more access to some type of sex. What concerns me though is...
Well, is he really addicted?
Well, that's my question.
And then she hates it and he knows it. So if he's just watching porn and you don't like it and you've made that clear, it's not going to change him watching porn. Men and their relationship to porn is completely separate from their relationship to us. And as a woman who has dealt with this in relationships, I can tell you that's a little confusing, and it's a fact.
Well, and it's not an emotional connection, right?
Right.
It doesn't necessarily.
It's an outlet.
Yeah, it really is just an outlet. We're talking about release, right? What is good about this is that he hasn't shut. You haven't said, Jay, that he shut down the sex life.
Yeah, they're still having sex.
Right. So I'm wondering if he wants to include porn as part of your sex life. If he's got something else going on that he may not be comfortable talking to you about. Maybe you hate porn totally, and that may be a deal breaker.
Sure.
So,
but God,
I think there's something to talk about.
Don't dabble in porn occasionally.
Yeah, I think every guy does,
Yeah.
right? I mean, men are very visual creatures. Like, they're going to take a look at
Ladies,
this.
we just want to get in and get down to business. We don't need the visual, but guys do.
Right.
Well,
so,
I'm only speaking for myself. I don't know what you ladies do.
You don't demand any ambiance, nothing. You just like
shit, hit it and quit it.
So, Jay, I guess I'd be suggesting, and jump in here, I think that I'd want you to get more to the root of what it is.
Yeah. And really define, is it an addiction? Like, can he not get it up without it?
Right.
Is it affecting his life? I mean, addiction is a very strong word.
So what you consider addiction, he may just be considering an outlet.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, porn is really normal.
Just a healthy outlet that we as women may never understand.
Great. So let us know how that goes,
yeah.
please. This one's
good
really
luck
good.
with that.
I like this.
This is from T. What's up,
Hi, T?
I am currently getting to know two guys at the same time. Just pure conversation. She's playing the field. I like it.
She's Taylor Swift.
Ooh, T for Taylor. Guy A. Is this Taylor Swift? I don't think so, because she says, Guy A, I have known this guy for 8 years and just found out that he spent 2 years in prison for a few bad mistakes and has been on the road of self-repairment. Okay, he's working it out.
Great.
He has a job, a car, but has to live in a halfway house for the next few months, which cuts back greatly on our time spent together.
Sounds like he's got work to do on him.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just afraid that it may take him longer than I'd like to get back on his feet. So what's your timeline? I'm really interested to know, T, is it a realistic timeline given where this guy is at? That's guy one. Guy two shares a house with his legally separated wife, game over, and their 2 boys, tells me after a month of hanging out that he loves me, game over, and wants a relationship but refuses to delete naughty pictures of his
Of his ex-girlfriend, right?
Ex-girlfriend. So
not his wife.
Right, of ex-girlfriend, not wife. So let me just say option C, cut them both loose.
Yeah. The first guy doesn't sound bad, right?
No.
But he's got work to do on himself.
He's got potential, but it sounds like their timelines might not be matched.
Never fall in love with potential. Never fall in love with potential.
And it's not to say you can't be in a relationship with someone who's done time. Depends on the crime, and it depends on your threshold for tolerance with that, and how actively they are about getting their life back together. But in these 2 scenarios, one guy's not ready, like literally on a halfway house, and you're sounding like you're impatient. And
the other guy's a train wreck because he's got an ex-wife that he's living with, and he's got an ex-girlfriend's pictures on his phone. Like, hell no. Hell no. Fired.
How do you feel about that?
Done. Over. Finished. Kaput. Zil. Nil. Done.
I think what Charles is saying is game over.
Game over.
Hey, Charles, this last one's for you.
Hey. This is for another Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, Jay. Again, we're using initials. This is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking to this guy for almost a year now, and he is what I consider a very good guy.
Oh, cool.
I feel as though I'm getting mixed signals from him, though. Ugh. He's very passionate with me when we're together, and he gets along well with both my kids. He's told me that at the moment he isn't looking to be in a relationship. Okay.
What does passionate with me mean?
Well, it sounds like he's very into her. But the way he does things is confusing her. So he's saying he doesn't want to be in a relationship, but he's giving all the signals. For her birthday, he gave her a chain with a heart and a key on it. And there's been times we talk about things, and he refers to our conversation in future terms as us, we. Honestly, I don't know what to make of it. What do you think? Well, it sounds like he's on the fence.
He's a we without seeing we.
It sounds like he's on the fence, though. And you know, and
he sounds like the kind of guy who paints a pretty picture but doesn't give you the picture.
Like for good?
Well, I don't know. But, and I want to know what passionate with me means. Are you guys getting down to business and you're having like booty calls and then, like, it sounds like if that's the case, if the passionate, if I can read between those lines and it means sex, what I would say is he's getting all his needs met right now. Why would he commit?
No doubt. And that's where I get some concerns, right? So if he's putting just enough in to keep the relationship going, she's clear that she's a single mother.
Yep.
And anytime you get a male figure in the lives of kids, they're going to expect some consistency. You got him around for a year. All right, so that's a now like a makeshift male role model.
But it's interesting. I've been talking to this guy for almost a year now. That's how it starts. So it sounds like it's
very casual.
Very casual, very convenient. It's working for him, and I'm just not sure it's working for you.
Yeah, if this is a casual relationship, then maybe you might want to think about how your kids are working through this. If you're looking to take this to a next level, I think you need to either be straight with him and then deal with whatever comes. If he's happy with how this is rolling, he's not going to change it.
No, if it works for him and it doesn't work for you, well, there's only a couple things that can change in that scenario. You getting on board with what's happening, or you saying game over.
Definitely. So Jay, good luck with that. Write us back and let us know. And if you have a question, please head over to facebook.com/thegameovershow. Click on the little message button and we will get your message right here.
Awesome. So, wow, Taylor Swift, game on. Plus size dating, game on. And your live love advice, little mix of game on versus game over.
Definitely. We appreciate you joining us here on the Game Over Show. Until tomorrow, I'm Charles J. Orlando.
And I'm Lisa Steffen.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.